Hi there, everyone. Beth Spizzarni here.
Jonathan Jorson.
Great to see you all again for our Shrine Neighbor Challenge. We are excited today to be talking to you about our next challenge. This is challenge number 4. So our challenge last week, an intro to the Neighbor Challenge. We are really excited about neighboring because Jesus told us to love our neighbors. We're spending more time in our neighborhoods than we ever have.
But 6 feet apart.
6 feet apart, you can see. But so, the question really, a lot of us have been talking about evangelizing, unleash the gospel, and a lot of people are telling me, I don't know what that means, that sounds scary, it sounds complicated, I don't feel like I've taken enough classes or courses to know how to evangelize. And really, this whole thing is that it's actually much simpler. Maybe the key to being missionary disciples just starts with loving our neighbors well. If you and I loved our neighbors well, we would transform Royal Oak, Berkeley, Clawson, Troy, and every other city around. So that's why we're excited about it. Last week we talked about recreating well and resting. So we actually had a cool Shrine Neighbor Night, and we had a bunch of people come out. We had couples playing board games with masks. We had kids running around. It was just such a great time to see people just recreating, connecting. People were playing cornhole. It was just beautiful. Recreating well could change us and change our whole communities. But JJ, Jonathan, is going to give us a great story and connect us to our next challenge.
So one of the great things about Shrine for us is that it's in a neighborhood, it's in a community, and we live just across the street, so we are able to walk to church, we're able to walk to school, and it goes both ways because we're able to interact with the priests as they go on their walks. So we have a bunch of kids, as Beth mentioned. We have 4 boys and now 2 twin girls that we welcomed into the world during the midst of all this craziness. We're always outside because we believe in fresh air and exercise and recreating, and so we get to see the Shrine priests on their walks. And the other night, it was a little crazy in the house, so I took one of the twins out, was sitting on the porch, and Father Joe Horn walked by, and we had the best conversation, just engaging, just having a chat. And this carries on a tradition of interactions with the Shrine priests so that our kids see them not just as the special person at Mass, but our neighbor. So Father John, I'll leave the last name up to your imagination, came by the other day, and we have a ninja line. If you're familiar with American Ninja Warrior, it's this obstacle type course. And Father John said, I've got to try that. So we have Father John out on our front lawn doing this obstacle course. And it's so good for the kids to see that and to interact that way with our priests. And before him, the other Father John, just to keep it interesting, when we came home with our twins, he was on his walk, and he blessed our babies from across the street. It was really, really sweet. And going back, associates, Father Patrick would come and he would play with our kids, and then he'd pray over the boys after they were done playing. It's such a blessing, and just engaging in that way, not only with our priests, but with our fellow parishioners and strangers, just being friendly, being a source of and a beacon of light and life. I think that's what evangelization and being a good neighbor is really all about.
Yeah. So challenge number 4, are you ready for it? Challenge number 4 is availability. So last week we leaned into recreating well, and now we're going to talk about being available and being interruptible. So when Father Horn came by, you could have just been like, oh hey, but like more than that happened.
Much more, yeah. I was coming out to the front porch to actually just sit down on the chair and have a moment. But then Father Joe was walking by, so I walked down the front steps, and we chatted for 20 minutes about how Shrine's doing amidst all this, how he's doing. Because can you imagine being a new pastor while there's a pandemic raging? It's crazy. And so we just went back and forth about what's going on with our lives, and I told him about the twins and all the other kids, and it was really special to be able to interact on that level, and it's an opportunity, like Beth mentioned, that could have easily just slipped through, but instead it was a really life-enriching conversation.
Yeah, so your neighbors, you could have conversations like that too. I don't live next door to the priest, but my neighbors are still pretty cool, and I bet yours are too. So the challenge this week is strive to be available to your neighbors. Strive to live your life so that you can be interrupted. We can tell when people are paying attention to us, right? They stop what they're doing, they make eye contact, they make space for a conversation to happen. So this week, who knows what moments of grace will happen when you and I say yes to being available. So let us know how it goes. Neighbor at shrinechurch.com. We want to see your emails.